I'm Fran from Kirk, and you're watching The Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are on parade. It's time for The Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of the Covered Monkey, and your host with the Toast Topsy Toaster, and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Glass-O-Wake Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the music maestro. Let's get ready to loco! Ho, ho, ho! Ooh.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes.
Yeah, because I'm here.
Because we're supposed to be at, well, we'll see next, but...
No, West Hill Wagon Works.
Because we're supposed to be at West Hill Wagon Works, but Jenny got really ill, so now we're here.
I had flu.
Today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club.
Well, I call it flu because it's probably COVID, but other viruses are available. But I've got a full house. Every single symptom of COVID, I flagged up every single one.
Yes, unfortunately, we can't tell whether it is or not because the modern versions don't show up on the tests.
Yeah, so I'm really ill at the moment. I'm over the worst. I don't remember much of Saturday or quite a bit of Sunday, but we were supposed to be.
It's okay. I'll keep your secret. You weren't out saving the world superhero style.
But yes, so we're supposed to today be at West Hill Wagon Works. They're opening up their all-new shop at Kirby in Mansfield.
Yeah.
And just like to thank Scanman, who's very kindly just now donated on the super chat $9.99. Thank you so much. Says for the Locomotive and Biscuit Fund, all clear here in Montana. I will read the rest when Zoe closes the screen she's got open over the top of it. Actually, that's all there was. All clear here in Montana. So good to hear. And I know it sounds a bit creepy, but I looked up your house because he sent me.
Jen, you shouldn't do that.
Sent me his address for me to post out the certificate for best other product, so I had a look at your house. It's really nice. I'm jealous. It looks really nice. But going back to, it was supposed to be at West Hill Wagon Works, big opening of their first bricks and mortar store.
Yeah.
It's at the same address that their industrial unit is. It's actually at the front of their unit. And we'd been organising this since before Christmas.
Yeah, we've had it in the diary for ages.
And
then you got ill.
I started coming down with this on Friday. Actually at a film shoot in Halifax, which, if you hear stories of Ewan McGregor coming down with COVID, flu, whatever, it's pure coincidence. I probably got this from the same person that he got it from.
Also, you didn't see him.
No, I didn't actually. But yeah, so I spent a lot of the weekend hallucinating about being in Halifax. So it was weird. So we've got Chehalis Valley Model Railroad, Flymer Chairman 1, Francis Wadsworth, Smallwood Junction, Catmaran Taraco, Double O Gauge Railways, Putnam Junction, David Scott, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Harry Sedgwick, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, Ady Pullen. I can't speak fast enough to keep up with the chat. Mike Lane, TT120, Sue at Putnam Junction, David Scott, Iron Horse Railways. It's so great to see you all. So a huge
Leslie Gilpin says you've been coming down with something for the last 2 weeks. To be honest with you,
I've been ill.
We've
all
been ill
of
since
2024. But this is like full blown, like really bad. And as of this morning, I got the last symptom of COVID. If you look
bingo!
I got bingo on the list on the NHS website. I got every single one, so yay!
Okay, I'm going to remove that message from Malcolm Moore, because no, we will not be having any anti-vax conspiracies here.
Yeah, just settle down.
No. I'm
Right.
sick of people doing that.
Okay. John JMC, our guru of sound, great to see you in. We've got Don Cragen, good morning from San Jose, California. Great to see you. Patrick Ling says, where's Topsy Toaster? Unfortunately...
Topsy is staying out of the way in quarantine.
Yeah, Topsy doesn't want what I've got, so
Yeah.
he's
Imagine Snotty Toast. Ooh.
he's done a runner with a whole bunch of the clowns.
Yeah.
So we might be...
We saw them carrying them out this
Yeah,
morning.
we saw them all piling into an unseasonably small car and driving off. But we know it was them because the doors fell off.
Yeah.
John JMC, the guru of sound, says, wish could make it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be there.
I wish we could have made it. It looks fantastic. We're going to show you it in
talking
a moment.
of,
No.
what?
Before we go to that, Jenny, do we have a sponsor today?
Yes, we do. Our sponsor is TMC, the Model Centre, your first choice for pre-ordering all of the new models and also checking out their extensive in-stock range from across all of the manufacturers. They also feature a wide range of pre-owned items, and you can choose to upgrade any item with their renumbering, renaming service, and a selection of different weathering options from a light in-service weathering to heavy-duty wear and tear, grot and graffiti, either with off-the-shelf designs or with a design that you can submit to them for their artist to complete. So thank you to TMC, the Model Centre, who are the sponsor of the Monday Club.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other a huge apology to West Hill Wagon Works, and
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up on screen.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so this
is what their place looks like, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, did you turn the sound off?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the new shop. Look at that, spanking new carpet. Hasn't even got the wear line for where Mark Wilson has beat a track to the to all the scenery stuff, because we know that he'll be into the DeLorean and down there, pretty toot sweet.
It really looks wonderful, and I'm so sorry we can't be there.
Absolutely. But a huge thank you to West Hill Wagon Works for inviting us. It was all set up from before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I feel gutted for letting them down. But the shop itself is open from tomorrow. So get yourself down there, and all of the full product range that you know and love from all of the shows is there on display. They also stock DCC concepts, and there's a range of building kits as well. We do have a picture, actually.
We do, actually, yes.
It's the one that you were saying, what's that?
Yes.
But they carry the full range of these as well. So we're just waiting for the pictures to come up.
For the inevitable.
And they've got working layouts actually in their shop as well.
Yeah.
So
they've got a helix behind the counter.
Yeah, he was telling me about this. Basically, the layouts that they've got in the shop, you can bring your own locomotives and stock down, and they'll let you run them on these layouts.
Oh, that's cool.
But they've got, I think there's like a layout in the window or something. So that helix joins the shop layout to the main layout inside together. So it's really quite impressive.
It is. Look at that. Oh, so many lines.
Yeah, and this is going to be made fully scenic using full range of West Hill Wagon Works products. So the idea is that you'll be able to see all of the products in situ and
Oh.
painted up to give you an idea of inspiration of ideas.
I'm even more sad that we can't make it now.
I know.
That's the range. Like, oh my goodness, some of this. Every time I see this stuff, it shows. It's like, oh, I need it.
Yeah, I needs it. I needs it. If you wonder what I'm doing, I was just installing a profile on a HM 7000 decoder.
So where's the store located? Kirkby in Ashfield.
You have the address. Let's read the address.
123 Fake Street.
No,
Buttock
I
Street.
told you, you're not supposed to give out your own address on the stream. Southern Train Girl, big hello to you. Richard Swiderski, Peter Jackson, Chiddle Heath says TARDIS near the Great Grain Wagon Hopper. Yes, it is well spotted. I don't know where the other one is though. I'm looking around. You know what? I can't remember where the Doctor parked his other one. He might be wandering around, all lost, with this outstretched key in one hand and a bag of jelly babies in the other, going, Romana, where have I put the TARDIS this week? Peter Taylor says hello from Clitheroe. Barnabas Junction says West Hill Wagon Works, 3B New Line Road, Kirby and Ashfield, Nottingham, NG17 8JQ.
Oh, you were typing that. You were reading that just as I was typing it.
So I do apologise. I'm all dosed up actually on cold and flu tablets, so I can't recommend them more highly. Other cold and flu based tablets are available.
I don't know why this has gone so small.
I don't know.
So yeah, there's lots of really good looking stuff
Ben
here.
Tuller asks, is that the same counter that West Hill Wagon Works take to shows? I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me if it's a very similar design, if not the same thing. So this is what I was asking about earlier.
Yes, yeah. Oh, you've pressed the button.
Yeah, I pressed it ages ago.
So that means everybody's seen your emails and stuff.
No.
All right, so here we are. ATD models. They also carry the full range of these as well.
So these are local sheds and buildings, and they look. Oh yeah.
So there we've got like 1930s style semi-detached.
No, look at the way the
50s.
That is post-war reconstruction. That because the roof is right onto the top of the. Sorry, I worked as a building surveyor for the.
Can you tell somebody worked for the valuation office?
Yes, I was a government building surveyor.
Yeah.
If you don't have a row of bricks between the top of your windows and the roof of your house, it is post-war reconstruction. We were so short on all resources, including bricks, that we just got rid of a line of bricks or two.
Ruben Ashwell says, wow, it appears West Hill Wagon Works isn't too far from me. I misread that as country. Next county over, literally.
Next
for me.
country over. Where are you, France? These look interesting.
Ben says whiskey and brandy also good for cold and flu medication.
I think
the problem is that I can't really go out because it would be incredibly shady for me to give this illness to people.
Yeah. I think I went to school in one of these buildings.
Yeah, you probably did. And that's why they had to demolish it and salt the earth.
They didn't salt the earth, they just knocked the school down the day after I left.
I bet
this is not a joke, it actually happened.
I'm sure that there was somebody running around with some sacks of salt going, there you go, everywhere Zoe's been, we need to cleanse the aura. Gargle with Guinness, says Brian Bell. Interesting, I never heard that one.
Jen doesn't like Guinness.
New Durham Junction on the railway. This is good evening all within the chat.
Hello.
So, what?
I said hello.
Oh, hello. So, look, thanks for sharing those with us.
Yeah, they're nice. I'm really wishing we could have been there. It looks lovely.
Absolutely, and it was all arranged over a month ago. But we do wish West Hill Wagon Works well if you're in the area. Their shop is open from tomorrow. They've got full stocks of everything, all the different scales and ranges. And like I said, they've got layouts in the shop which are going to be made fully scenic, utilising the full range of West Hill Wagon Works products. So, drink more gin. Oh, I could get. Oh, you did. We haven't got any tonic.
They didn't say tonic.
Brian, I'm not drinking neat gin.
Gargle neat gin.
Oh, no, that's a bit harsh. In other news, Daypol have released information on the N-Gauge Class 59. So, information out there for you N-Gauge modern image models. Although Class 59 is not really modern image. We blame the railway modeller for this. Steve Flint, looking in your direction, because they coined the term modern image, and it appears to have just been stuck on to anything that was post-Steam. And in perfect honesty, it's not really accurate anymore, because the Class 59 turns up in 1980s. That's not
40 years ago now.
That's not modern. Not by... Oh, it's that Gronk is being a nuisance.
Is it not cranking it up?
No, so it's being a Putin.
Oh, it's off the...
Yes, yes, I know it is. So, press the button.
Allow me to attempt to re-gronk it.
Yeah, this is... It's the answer Daypol, says Ben Tullett. Possibly. Last week, actually, we drew a record audience for the Monday Club. Go on, say it, Zoe. You know you want to. Hi, come back. What are you doing? What the...
I wasn't very good at gronking it.
Yeah, it's like my name's Zoe. I will demolish everything.
Right, run it forward so that it gets on.
I'll tell you what.
Why don't you do it? I used to
Yeah.
re-railer.
It's a whole pile of with your name on it. Big thank you to Tim Krinsky. We did mention it the other week. Sent this into the channel. I'm not having a go. It's just that point round there does seem to be irritating
to be redone.
It does rather. So the V I can't never remember whether it's a V1 or a V3 that I have just fitted. TXS. It sounds like something that Lucasfilm would do. Oh, interesting. Knockers Lanes has found a nifty Bluetooth board. Converts any decoder to Bluetooth control. Tell us more. Colour me a shade of intrigued. No, seriously.
That is interesting. That is very interesting.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
So, let me just... select loco. I have a feeling... loco.
Meanwhile, I've got a question for the chat. Is there any locomotive that's known as the Hound?
The Hound?
Yeah, because I want someone to release the hounds!
I suppose the closest you'd get is a terrier. But they're like a small yappy dog. I've just realised why it won't work. It's because it's still set to Bluetooth.
That'll do it.
So I have to boot up the app.
I need a locomotive that's known as the Hound.
Wi-Fi Tracks did a board like that, says John JMC, our guru of sound.
Interesting.
Leicester Station and TMD Gary, big hello to. Dongit's Mother Railway says the term modern image as coined was intended to mean modelling what is running now. The problem is it was coined as diesels were being introduced, so it quickly became with diesels.
Yes. It's the medieval era all over again.
Yeah, medieval actually just means modern age in medieval English.
Yeah.
So let me try and find... This is the one thing... You can actually manually edit CV12, but I can't be bothered because I'd spend No, seriously. I'd spend longer looking up what I had to edit it to.
So, the LSWRT9 or the LSWT3, they were known as the Greyhound, so we could release the hounds.
Release the Greyhound. You do know, can I just say, in the UK, the Greyhound is more commonly known as a whippet.
Yeah.
And it loses that kind of mystique and like, yes, ride the Greyhound. You know, it's like, oh, quick, get the whippet on the string and put my best flat cap on because we're going down to Canal to get chippy tea.
I'll tell you what, having grown up with a granddad who adored whippets, I'll tell you right now, they are the best family dog. They are so gentle and loving and will run absolutely wild with all your kids.
Yeah, I bet they will.
They can keep up.
Right, so I need 6, 7, 0.
Absolutely wonderful dogs.
You talk to the nice people.
I was talking about greyhounds and whippets.
Yeah. And that's why down in Cambridgeshire there used to be a bus company called Go Whippet.
Yeah. Greyhound and whippet are two different dogs. You know, I thought they were whippet.
Oh,
isn't a greyhound a bigger dog?
I always
It's
thought
like rabbits and
I always
hares.
thought whippets and greyhounds were the same thing.
No, a whippet is a smaller dog than a greyhound. Greyhounds are big.
Mm. Let me,
Leicester Station says, Jenny, when are you over at West Hill Wagon Works tomorrow? Sadly, we're not.
yeah,
Unfortunately, they aren't.
Sadly, I'm so ill, I don't want to give everybody COVID.
Yeah.
So, as you can probably hear, I am in really, really bad shape.
We were hoping to be live from there tonight. We had it all planned out.
It was
and
all
then we're
set
going to
up.
stay over and be at the open day tomorrow.
Mm.
And then Jen went and got ill.
Yeah.
And then she gave it to me, and I've been in bed most of the weekend as
Well,
well.
can I just say that Hornby have fixed the bug whereby changing the locomotive address in the app wasn't actually showing up on the locomotive itself. You're supposed to come back. So that's pleasing to see. So they are updating the app all the time. So let's see how well this V1. I can never. Does anybody know? How do I tell a V1 from a V3? It's probably just the running number. I think.
And you have to pick it up and look underneath.
It's not like sexing a chicken. What are you doing? Can I actually, if you don't mind,
There.
What is that?
The Russian or Prussian P8, also known as the Russian 460, that is a hound.
Right. Well, people might actually like to see what you're looking
This is the hound that we can release. Release the hound. Bark, bark.
at. Oh, okay. Well, isn't that lovely?
So there we are. Now we've got one.
Isn't that lovely? Bring up the chat. It's not.
It looks like a big boy, doesn't it? Like a really big one. Oh yes. Other dog-related trains are pug. Yes, we need.
Yes.
We need more dogs
Well, yeah.
and also more gronks.
Barnabas Junction, Zoe the Russian 460 hound steam locomotive.
Someone needs to release the hounds. I need one.
Oh, what are you... oh, look at that!
What's wrong now?
Because I haven't fitted the stay alive, it's being a nuisance.
Staying alive, staying alive.
So last week we secured an exclusive interview with Richard Davies, CEO of Hattons,
We did.
talking about the unique problems that Hattons faced, which unfortunately resulted in Hattons taking the decision to close down. It's been our most watched Monday Club video ever. But really the take home from it was that Hattons, in many respects, have built its business model around the stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap. So they were doing a lot of fire sale deals with manufacturers where overstocks, they were stocking them like by the thousand, and knocking them out in sales. And the thing was that manufacturers, it's not profitable for manufacturers to do that. The reason being, if stuff's forever being fire sale cheap, then that becomes the new normal price. It's a bit like Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
Yes.
Nobody buys Ben & Jerry's ice cream when it's £6 tub. They wait until it's £3.50 and then they buy it then. So basically, Ben & Jerry's costs £3.50. You just have to wait a bit until they change the price label. And it's like a DFS sofa sale. Nobody paid that full price they used to advertise.
Or like in gaming with the Steam sales. Everyone knows that Steam has a sale in the winter, and the summer, and at Halloween. So you buy your games in the winter, in the summer, and at Halloween.
Yeah. So from a manufacturer's point of view, you actually devalue your product by constantly having fire sales. Not to mention the fact that retailers who've stocked on release and still got models on the shelf suddenly find that people like Hattons could then be fire sailing at a price that is less than what they paid wholesale.
Yeah.
So the manufacturers got much better at judging quantities, and that meant that you just didn't get these overstocks.
Yeah.
And Hattons had reached a point where that was their thing. And without the supply of stuff, then it just wasn't possible to continue. I'm waiting for that to... Oh, it's stuttering again.
It's not happening. Give it a bit more willy. There you go.
I'm giving it some beans. There we go. I'm going to... I've got... these are like gold dust at the moment. Tim at Arcadia Models. I got 3 of these. One of them's gone into the Class 29, and one of them is earmarked for that V1, V3. He did have some left. I did leave him with some, but they're like gold dust at the moment. So do get on to Tim if you are looking for items. Check out his... Just ask him over the phone. I did. He had a Hornby M7 in the box in BR black livery for £55, which is a really good price. And I was being good, so I didn't.
Come on.
Damite D86 says, "Hi Jen, how are you feeling?"
I think she's just
Not
yeah.
great.
I think she's just answered that.
Not great, unfortunately. So essentially, Hattons had kind of specialised their business model around something that was actually disappearing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this also came the same day. We learnt on the same. The previous week we also learned that the Worley show was ceasing at the NEC, and everyone's for running after bandwagons and jumping on. The national news media then were like, "Oh, the hobby's dying, doom and gloom in the model railway world," which was absolute BS.
Yeah, of course it was.
Demonstrated quite amicably by West Hill Wagon Works opening up a shop. Because they're one of the massive success stories in the industry.
Yeah.
We got the likes of Acura Scale doing really, really well. Ellis Clark Trains. TMC, I was talking to Alex Yates about that, and it's like, well, actually, the market's quite buoyant. You know, people are still buying stuff. There just isn't the fire sales that there used to be, because the manufacturers are getting much better at predicting sales.
Yes. And that's always going to be an issue. If you're fire selling all the time, but they're not even making the huge numbers anymore,
I mean,
you've got a problem.
Do you remember the days of Nintendo stuff where you couldn't get stuff for love nor money? And it was like, you know...
They didn't make enough Wiis, so people were queuing for Wiis.
Yeah, do you remember when we joined a queue because it's like, well, they must be queuing for something good. And we got to the front and we got the second to last Wii balance board because they were in such demand. And the person behind us got the last one, and the person behind them, who'd also joined the queue, got to the front and was told, "We ain't got any more."
Yeah, and that's unfortunately how it is. But with your business model is buy in bulk and then not making in bulk, you don't control that part of your inventory anymore.
Yeah.
I can see why they were starting to go into making their own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to put a video out. It's one of the things I noticed loads of people, it's like, oh, there's a bandwagon, let's jump on it. But, you know, the honest truth is a lot of people have actually put videos out, making it very clear the hobby is not dead. The hobby is very, very buoyant.
Yes.
And just because one 77-year-old retailer had nailed their colours to a mast which happened to be slowly sliding beneath the waves, doesn't mean that everybody else is struggling as well. You know, margins are thin, but people are still making a living.
Absolutely.
There's never been more interest in the hobby, and you know,
there's never been more interest. There's never been more manufacturers.
I mean, look at the range of items that you can now get.
Yeah.
Ready-to-run models. I mean, like the improved Precedent. You would never have dreamed of a model of that. The P-Class. You would never have dreamed of a model of that. Remember how many years manufacturers are going, we keep telling them there's no call for industrial outline models. And oh, look, we've got the 16-inch Hunslet from Rapido. We got the Andrew Barkley from Hatton's Originals. You know, we've got the Ruston Hornsby PWM, the Ruston Hornsby 48DS, 88DS. There's like loads and loads of stuff. So yeah, the hobby is not dying, and it's not helped by the fact that the BBC were like, oh yes, let's get on this bandwagon. Doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom.
The biscuit company is always like that.
Oh, look at this, we can cream a turd off in their water pipe.
Jenny!
Just for a little bit of extra view. And it's like they leave carnage in their way, they don't care. And in some respects, I feel bad for the people that they suckered on from the hobby, who were used as pawns in their game to perpetuate this myth that the hobby's not dying. The hobby has never been more buoyant. Iron Horse Railways. So everybody ready, because we need to limbo under the new tone that Iron Horse Railways is setting. So we're talking about nailing things to masts. Does that mean we are mast debating?
We're not doomed until we're on Jeremy Vine. That is true.
Barnabas Junction says the first Model Rail Crew exhibition, 23rd of June 2024, will have a special guest to officially open it. Ooh, who?
Desperate Dan.
Desperate Dan?
I would love Desperate Dan. I actually met Desperate Dan once. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Okay.
And colour me a shade of couldn't. Oh, did you know at the Cornell University they have an electron tunneling microscope that is capable of seeing the infinitesimally small. It can actually see the makeup of the atom. Imagine that. Now, if I were using that electron microscope, I still couldn't find my interest in your story.
I was in Marks and Spencer's in the Metro Centre back in the 80s with my dad and my sister. My dad took me there especially because in my comics that I read at the time, The Dandy and the Beano, they were saying Desperate Dan and Dennis the Menace would be doing a meet and greet in Marks and Spencer's. I have no idea why it was Marks and Spencer's. But there it was. Maybe it was a range of clothes or something. I do remember getting a Dennis the Menace t-shirt.
I don't. Marks and Spencer's used to be good before they let themselves go.
Yeah. So I actually met Desperate Dan and Dennis the Menace in Marks and Spencer's in the Metro Centre in the 80s.
Yeah. A Chehalis Valley Rail production says nice Frasier reference.
Yes.
Aim to please. Yes.
Desperate Dan comes from Dundee. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
There's a statue of him, isn't there?
Yeah.
In Dundee. I want to go and see it.
Jennifer Horton says, I met Timmy Mallet once. Lovely bloke. He is, actually. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I've heard that he's great. I got a book signed from him for my sister's Christmas present a couple of years ago.
Valley's 56XX says to say that the hobby is fine when the economic model is clearly in transition and is no means guaranteed to expand amongst the younger generation is a bit naive. Yeah, and this is the area...
To an extent, yes.
Yeah, this is the area where I think that manufacturers kind of chase the big ticket price tag items. So, you know, we're seeing lavishly detailed models and really all but Hornby and Daypole are neglecting the pocket money priced items. And you know, it's like you can poo-poo a £70 loco as not being pocket money prices, but actually in real terms it's achievable for a child. And you know, and then they're more resilient models, so they're not going to just like fall apart in their hands. And I think both Hornby and Daypole, with some of their wagon range, are to be commended for keeping the hobby accessible to the new generation. But, you know, if there's a big criticism for certainly Bachman and, you know, some of the others, is that they don't cater for people coming into the hobby.
There needs to be that incoming range.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think that this is what started me out in the hobby age 3. You don't think that I had models of this calibre. No.
Yeah, I had models like this.
Well, funnily enough, actually, yeah. I mean, I can remember I had Desmond, which is the little 040 Hornby pocket rocket, but it's one of the previous incarnations. Basically, think Smokey Joe, but in a different livery. I also had my dad's old Hornby 00 from when he was a kid. And that stuff used to be cheap as chips. Nobody wanted it in the early 80s, so you could pick it up really, really cheap. And there just isn't really that kind of option. I mean, second hand, what really is there? And, you know, we're seeing a lot of the prices getting just a little bit gougy on places like eBay and that. People want top dollar for garbage.
Yeah. Although not always. I've got a fair amount of good second-hand stuff.
If you drill down, there are places, and actually Wednesday's video, it was going to be Friday's, but because of illness I've not been able to film anything. Wednesday's video, I go on a bargain hunt, and no thanks, they set my teeth on edge. Because I'm ill, my taste buds have gone all weird. And for a while over the weekend, I couldn't smell or taste. It's come back, but it's come back weird. And I tried a fruit pastel, and it was like horrible. It was like eating a super sour, is the best way I can describe. You know those what do they call it? Like nuclear warhead sweets, the ones that are like.
I love those.
No, there's the one. Do you remember Mark and Jess when we were in Harlech and they got those sweets and they were so sour and they're like. Make your face just like cave into like a little mini black hole.
Yeah, they were great.
Oh, I hated those. It feels like that. Big hello to Zach Farnworth.
Hiya.
I says, hope you both feel better soon. So do we. Yeah. But yeah, Wamgock says, well said, Jenny. Absolutely. And that's what the hobby needs. And it's why I'm quite happy to, I like promoting the Railroad Plus range from Hornby. Yeah. And, I see people poo-poo them in the comments. And it's like, it's not aimed at you. It's aimed at getting new people into the hobby. And that's actually...
the amount of people who talk down the railroad range because they're not into it. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but myopia is not a good thing.
Yeah.
David Brown says, I've got a budgie going cheap if you're interested.
Tim's Model Railway in different videos says, did you have wind bad yesterday where you live?
Jen did in bed. Lifting the covers.
Apparently there's been a storm. Up until today, I hadn't even been downstairs, let alone looked outside.
Yeah, we had a bad storm.
So, yeah, we assume. Knockers Lane says, cheap second-hand Lima, underrated models, £35 for a decent one. Yeah, and a lot of the Railroad Plus range is based upon older Lima tooling. And, I think that is a great way to get people into the hobby. And just remember, in the early 80s, these were main range models, you know, and so what were all the rivet counters poo-pooing in the 80s?
Oh, you see, that was different because they liked it. That's the thing that I've noticed with a lot of people. If they like something, it gets a pass. If they don't, time to count the rivets.
Yeah. Francis Wadsworth says, good night, everyone. Look, you take care.
Take care, Francis. Thanks for coming along. They've missed a trick not releasing a Star Wars themed 66. Yes.
Dave Holloway says, I think you're talking about sweets called toxic waste. It's like there's the ones that make your face implode in on itself. They're that sour.
They were poo-pooing ready to run in the 80s, insisting everyone build kits. Yeah. Yes, I remember that. That was a question.
Can I just say, have you ever seen the quality of what some of these people were building kits to? They're just like, it's like, no. And it's
remember the D class that we went to the announcement of?
Yes, yeah.
And there was a guy who actually said to the people launching this fantastic-looking model.
Yeah.
He said, what does this mean for the kit building community?
And the answer is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because people who like building kits build kits because they like building kits.
This is what I was arguing at a Rails Open Day.
Yeah, and
Like,
people who want ready-to-run models want a ready-to-run model.
Yeah.
They don't want to build a kit. And that's always been my argument. It's like, you know, with, let's say, the D-Class. If the option for a D-Class had been build your own kit, I would not have a D-Class. So the fact that Rails of Sheffield brought out a D-Class model ready to run has not impacted one iota on the sales of kits of D-Class as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because you weren't going to buy one anyway.
The D-Class I own is not taking a sale away from kit builders, and that's why I always get quite angry when some of these little kit building companies act like the world owes them a living. It's like, how dare you pick off one of my... And it's like grow up.
Yeah,
You know?
this is like what I was arguing at Rails event at one of the open days. And I was talking to someone from one of the magazines. He was on about the ready-to-run versus kits market, and I said to him, I've got an example for you. I'm a kit builder. I'm not going to buy a ready-to-run thing because I don't just want the thing. I want to build the thing. And that's the thing. That if you're a kit builder, you're a kit builder because you want to build it, not because you want to just have it.
Yeah. And that's it. It's like, you know, I built Airfix kits for Spitfires because I enjoyed building the Airfix kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Matchbox brought out a ready-made Spitfire, I wasn't interested because I built the Airfix thing, not because it's like not because the end goal was to have a Spitfire model, but actually because I enjoyed the kit building bit.
Yeah.
And I think you find that, you know, people who build kits, that's what it's about for them.
Yeah. Dongits has an interesting point. I think the key thing with a kit is the painting. A lot of people would build more kits if the pieces were pre-coloured. That is actually quite an interesting point. Remember when we went to Daypole and they were showing us those kits they had of buildings and stuff?
Yeah.
And it was all pre-textured, pre-coloured.
Pre-coloured.
It looked fantastic. I looked at that and went, I want to build that.
And the thing is that actually, it doesn't matter how good you are at building a kit. If you can't paint for toffee, you can make it look like garbage. You can make a £1,500 kit look like garbage with a poor paint job.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, really, do we really want to be putting this sort of a paywall in front of people trying to get into the hobby? And go, oh no, you must build a kit because Buggins' kit company has managed to bung out a mediocre kit on the market, so the world owes them a living. So,
that's
so
the
if
thing.
you want the three-toed Whoppet, you have to give them an extortionate amount of money.
that is exactly it.
At one of the shows, actually, I was on the KR Models stand, and one of the kit company people came over and launched into a tirade, accusing them of picking off their models and actually like effing and jeffing about it.
Sorry, their models? I didn't think they owned it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can remember Mike being quite taken aback, and it's like, grow up.
Yeah.
You look like an adult, but you're acting like a child.
And that's it. You can't act like that. Because if I knew who that company was, I wouldn't buy from them now. Even though I like building kits, because you can't have that attitude. You can't say you own that.
Yeah. And Stevie Film says that sort of attitude makes clubs not welcoming to youngsters or adults starting in the
And
hobby.
that's it, exactly. This is what I wanted to say before Jen went on her rant.
Yeah.
The more barriers and social, economic, whatever, the more barriers you put between a person interested in the hobby and actually being part of the community, the more chances that person goes, nah, it's not for me now.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a member of a model club. And I've been to loads of open days where they've tried to get new members to join. And certainly in the early days, long before like YouTube fame turned up, when I was just
Jenny from the block.
Just Jenny Q Public. I actually found a lot of them very unwelcoming. Because, and you know, stop me if you recognise any of this. There'd always be a couple of people who would very quickly, you'd learn, were dubbed the fun police, who would treat the model club like their own petty fiefdom. So the club layout is effectively their layout, built using all the club subs. and run in accordance to their strict regime of the LMS between the period of 1936 and 1940. And, and it just becomes like, well, I'm sorry, I thought it was a hobby, and, hobby's meant to be fun and all that. And I just found that very unwelcoming. And you can imagine, the younger you are, the more you want to be entertained. You don't want to be rigidly forced into this.
You want to try things out and see what works
for
you.
You basically want to enjoy yourself and expand your skills in an enjoying yourself environment. And I just found that the clubs that I went to open days back in, when I was youth, just weren't welcoming.
So John Nutman says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, please can you say about my exhibition at Barton Peveril College, Barton Peveril College, Eastleigh, Southampton, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and 28th of January."
Absolutely.
There you go. If you're in the area, give it a try.
Absolutely. And yeah, Jennifer Horton says, yes, the description of clubs is very similar in my experience.
Yeah.
Sarah Davis says, we have similar in remote control car racing, mainly in the touring car people who take it far too seriously.
Yeah, I can understand why people lose track of the fact that they got into this fun. It's an easy pit to fall into, and it's really hard to get out of as well.
McCarville Studios says, my model club is dysfunctional. I'm surprised they still exist. Yeah, and this is the problem, is it's quite often the old guard, and when I say about that, it's old farts who have kind of been there so long that they've ended up running the clubs. And not always, but in a lot of instances, it's just they're the fun police. That's the best term for it. I saw that in a newsletter. Fun police. And it's like, yeah, this hobby is supposed to be fun. And it's one of the things that I've always said, that if there's an aspect of this hobby that you don't enjoy doing, it's all right to get store-bought. So, if you don't enjoy building baseboards, there's 101 companies out there that will make baseboards to like you basically say, this is the space I've got, and they will come in and they will like come around with the tape measure, and they'll go, then they'll go, and then they'll give you a price, and you say, yes, that's great. They will make those baseboards to an incredibly high standard, and there you go, you're up and running. And if you don't enjoy building baseboards, why make the hobby unenjoyable for yourself by trying to do that when you could just buy it?
Not even that, but if you don't want to go for someone coming in, measuring up and building it custom, there are companies that sell ready to go baseboards. You screw them together like the one that's up there.
Yeah, I mean, like,
let me just bring this around.
Can I just say that there's some really great professional layout builders. If you look at it and go like, yeah, I'd really like a layout, but what I actually really want is to play trains in a really...
So if you point to it up there, that's that's half of it, and it's a nice.
Let me just cover up the LEDs because the glare is just.
It's a nice little.
It's just made my hand glow.
Yeah, that's half of it, so double that size.
Yeah. Anyway,
a lovely shelf layout.
Oh, you've just revealed that Topsy is up there. Well done, Zoe. You've just exposed Topsy to COVID.
That's not Topsy. That's what Topsy left behind to make you think he was still here.
Oh, it's like that episode of Deep Space Nine, Who Mourns for Morn? And Quark has the holographic projection.
Yeah.
But no, I was trying to say something and then you talked all over me. But that was it. There's some really great professional layout builders out there. Dan Everson, big up to Tunnel Lane Model Railways. If you look at it and go like, yeah, I really love the idea of having a really nice model railway, but I wouldn't know where to start, and quite frankly, I just want to play trains in a really nice landscape. For a price, you can get a layout designed and built and delivered. And if that increases your enjoyment of the hobby,
then go for it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's the way to go. And it's like I've always said, but people say to me like, "Oh, you can make your own track. You can make your own locomotives from kits." It's like, yeah, but I don't like doing that.
Yeah,
I find it more tedious than listening to paint dry. So it's like, so I buy my locomotives and rolling stock ready to run, and they just go on the if I want stuff weathered, I buy factory weathered. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because you don't like doing it. But I'm on the other side. I love building kits. If I could build a kit locomotive, that would be great. Topsy's feeling a bit crumpet now. I told you it's not Topsy. That's just that Topsy left behind a fake Topsy so that Jen wouldn't feel left out.
Knockers Lane says there's an NMRA show on the 17th of February at Stokenchurch near High Wycombe.
Nice.
Oh, I know Stokenchurch. Used to be a truck stop there on the A40 called Angie's Place. That used to be a favourite of the old hands, the Pipe and Slippers Brigade truckers.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a pipe and slippers.
Yeah, Ben Tullett says, Jenny, you are chair of the Monday Club. Oh, I'm more of a stool, really. Yeah, pun intended. Like Jerry BVR says, you can grow your own potatoes, or just visit the chippy, your choice. McCarville Studio says you can grow your own trees and cut the wood for kits. Need to limit the silliness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's it. And it's like,
That's it. If you haven't hand whittled your own tools out of base obsidian that you carved out of the rock with your own hands, then are you really a modeller?
We seem to have quite a dead spot over here. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but on the face of it, the V1, V3. Nobody else seems to know how you tell them apart either.
I think you have to ask them.
Yeah, turn them upside down and part the wheels.
All the sounds and lights I add to the models would cost so much if the manufacturers did it, says John JMC.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Barnabas Junction. Myog exhibition, 23rd, 24th of March, Crew Heritage Centre.
Yeah, there's so many things coming up.
Sorry, I'm just choking to death here. Just give me a moment.
It's okay. So, for those of you who... For those of you who came in a little later, while Jen is coughing her lungs out...
Do you want that on...
No.
Oh, no, I've just pressed the button.
Oh, for goodness sake, Jen.
What
were you doing?
You put the screen up, so I pressed the button.
No, I brought up the...
I'll stop fiddling then. My work.
Please stop faffing about. For those of you who come in late, or later than the start, or whatever, this is what West Hill Wagon Works' new shop is going to look like when it opens tomorrow, and it looks fantastic. I'm really upset that we couldn't make it because we're ill. It looks so good.
Nick at Bletchton High Level says Jen needs to cut back on the capstan. Oh yeah, filterless capstan. Yes, with free tarmac in every one.
Sounds good.
It's one of those things when you're a teenager, it's like, yeah, look at me, how cool. Look at me, how like. No, Mum, I'm not smoking at all. Definitely don't smoke. Like, oh, are you? And then you get a bit older and you think, yeah, I've got to stop that.
You're gonna love this.
And
Inoxium Models has gone one better than what we always said. Oh, I make my own kits.
Yeah.
That is fantastic, Inoxium.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The faces I put it. Oh, it's like somebody's been through my lungs with a cheese grater. Is the best way I can describe it.
Peachy TT120 has also said that the new range of diesels, I believe it is, in TT120 have sold out in record time.
And this is another good news story, which you notice the BBC didn't latch on to.
Yes, they didn't.
TT120, new for the UK, been available for some time in Europe. Actually quite a popular scale in Eastern Europe. Hornby brought it to the market, and so many of the same fun police who make clubs, such not all clubs, but that make a lot of clubs just unwelcoming to new people, poo-pooed TT120.
They really do.
Why are they wasting the money on that when they could be making me my scale 3-toed Woppet I buy one? And actually, TT120 has defied all odds and become very successful.
Oh,
And
the TTA tankers, they're the ones that's
Yeah, TTA tankers.
Right. But even so,
Yeah,
record time. This is great for the hobby.
Yeah, and the thing about TT120 as well, which I think a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people have overlooked, is that it's attracting new people into the hobby. And that's what, these people who poo-pooed about, oh, well, I'm not switching from 00. Oh, I'm not switching from Endgame. It's like, well, don't. Nobody's asking you to.
That's it.
Instead, people are coming in new to the hobby, go, I like that. That's true to scale, and I can get quite a bit into the space. And
exactly.
Yeah,
I can put it on my dining table. The kids might enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
And, it's, and they do look great.
They
Wardle
really do.
Restorations, good evening to you. Tony Wright says, Jenny, I love operating and collecting locomotives, but not building scenery. Luckily, I work with modelers who like scenery work. I hope you get well soon. Thank you so much. And it's one of those things, isn't it? If you've got a friend who likes ballasting and you don't like ballasting, then there's probably something that they don't like that you don't mind doing, and you can, do a trade. But in all honesty, like I always say, if there's something in the hobby that you don't enjoy doing, store-bought is fine. Paying somebody else to do it for you is fine. Because, hobbies are supposed to be fun. And if you make it so that it's a chore, then actually it's not a hobby anymore, is it? It's just penance. It's like, well, I only do my soldering with a Hessian shirt on, and have to flay myself with a cat o' nine tails whilst I do it for the full experience. What are you putting up?
I'm trying to find. Yeah, that's actually a good point that's been brought up. I can't remember who asked, but yes, Dongits, who said he thinks TT120 is a brilliant scale, but they've made some mistakes with it, following it with interest. And then another person, Dongits again, has said, I wish they'd have a set with a diesel in TT120. And I was thinking, they had two sets when it came out. There was the Scotsman and the Easterner. So I looked them up, and both of them are steam.
Yeah, I think it will come eventually. There's a lot of production bottlenecks at the moment. In the
loads, yeah.
So now, Knockers Lane says the truckers stop and greasy spoon at Stokenchurch is called Chris's Cafe. Always has been. Many famous films used it and used it as an allocation. Oh, sure, it was Angie's place. Or I have stayed there. In my truck driving days, I have stayed there for the night. They did a nice meal, actually. Because I was going down to a place in London with one of the old school drivers who basically could make a night out of anything for the money, and stopped at pretty much every other junction all the way down the M6 and the M1 for a cup of tea. I mean, it was just.
Sometimes
I'll
people
be honest,
need a cup of tea.
Can I just say, it was actually pathetic following this guy down. It's like, what, really? Are we pulling into this services as well? It's like, oh yeah, that would be because you had 2 cups of tea at the last services, and now you're going to need to offload that in the toilet. And it was like one of those things. But yeah, so on the way back, and bear in mind, we'd maybe done 10 hours at this point. He pulls into the truck stop at Stokenchurch on the A40. It's like, right, that's us done for the night. And it's like, really? John
Jen,
JMC,
on the other hand, just power slides around the country.
Yeah, John JMC, the guru of sound, says, I used to get a full breakfast from Chris's Cafe. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I power slide around. I do it another way. It's like, if it's going to be a night out, I make day 2 as short as possible because I get job and finish. So my little trick was seeing how close I could get back all the way and then have a night out. My record was having a night out at Birch Services to go back to depot at Rochdale.
Right, guys, we've we've done an hour. Are you okay to continue?
Yeah, my lungs are holding out better than I thought.
Okay.
As long as I don't make any sudden moves, I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
So if you move the mouse closer to me, in case I need to actually
Why would you need the mouse?
do anything. Why are you bringing that up?
We've got videos.
What? Oh, are you
It's 8 o'clock.
You
I've got to set up for the videos.
Are you going to do the videos then?
Of course we are. It's the Monday Club.
Okay, well, so we're going to...
I'm setting up because we normally do videos from about 20 past.
Yeah, but like you were suggesting you were leaving us.
No, I was asking if you were okay to continue.
Oh, right, yes. Paris holiday. Oh, that sounds like a good holiday.
Nice.
Evening. Hope you're well. Yeah. Trains, kits, etc. Says, imagine waiting all this time for your new model, only for the container to be taken out by a Houthi drone. I don't know. Well, one of the things that we did find was that I think it was the Daypol. Was it the Daypol rail cars? The AEC, not the AEC rail cars. The GWR rail cars that Daypol did. There was a batch of those on the one that got stuck in the Suez Canal.
Mm-hmm.
So they were delayed by quite some time. Russell Benton says, I didn't get where I am today by doing sudden moves. That sounds like a very, very good way of... hold on. You know when there's a sneeze, you can feel that sneeze. Luckily, I'm fairly photoreactive, so usually if I look at a bright light for long enough, I'll sneeze or lose my sight. One or the other. Aaronville says, yesterday, first time ever, set up a simple loop powered by Hornby 15-volt 4-amp supply. Then put HM7000 Next 18 chip in the Hornby Lion. Use the HM7000 mobile to run. Very easy. Welcome to DCC Cheap.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's another thing. Is, it became quite cool to poo-poo Hornby and say, oh, look at evil Hornby. And actually, Hornby have done so much to the hobby, and it does feel like... and they've done a lot to get newcomers in with the Railroad Plus range. Them and Daypol, and they're the only ones doing it for locomotives. Daypol do a lot of rolling stock for pocket money prices, and I will champion that because I think that is. What's this?
When you sneeze and fart at the same time, your body takes a screenshot.
I thought I got away with it.
That is fantastic.
Whamgok says, anyone know if the KR leader is about to arrive?
I thought it was
I'm told it's soon.
Yeah.
I'm told that it's soon.
The biggest issue.
I've seen photos of it under construction.
The biggest issue, of course, is that shipping's delayed and all sorts.
Oh, actually, yes. Dongit's Model Railway. How could we forget? Oxford Rail are also worth putting in that group too. 90 quid for the Dean goods with the snowplow. The snowplow does come off, by the way. If you don't like the snowplow, take it off. And you've got a nice Dean goods for 90 quid. They're doing that deal. They still the home of wagons for around a tenner. There's a lot of great stuff. But going back to Hornby, they've done a lot to get newcomers into the hobby, and I think that must be applauded. And I know that we normally have a lurker in the form of New Junction from Curascale in. So
do we need to do the summoning ritual?
What? New Junction, New Junction, New Junction. Yes.
New Junction, New Junction, New Junction.
You know that probably vibe. Actually, no, we've got a special mount on the microphone.
Was the point.
But yeah, just like. Speak to your masters and see whether they can do an introductory model. You get a lot of kudos for that. Something that's basically a starter set loco for young people, because they'll be your market for forever. If your brand is the brand that you got as a kid, you hold a fondness for that if you remain in the hobby or even come back to the hobby.
Yeah.
I came back to the hobby, and Hornby 00 was my brand of choice as a child, And you know that gave Hornby quite a lot of momentum in making sales to me. I did then find Bachman, it must be said, but yeah.
Do you remember?
He's not. He's like, oh no, we're not opening that can of
He's
worms.
hiding. Do you remember when we did that April Fool's review of Model Railway in a Tin? Old number 9.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
you're
yeah. Look,
okay?
just don't question me. Just keep going.
Okay.
You will know if I can't continue, but just to let people know, I have had. Well, we think it's COVID. I got a full house on the COVID symptoms over the weekend. I had it really bad. It's the main reason that we're not at West Hill Wagon Works.
We didn't want to
shop.
share this horrible illness with them.
I'm still
and ruin their open day.
I'm most likely still contagious, and I do not want to be the person that gave everybody who went to West Hill Wagon Works this nastiness.
Yeah, someone else. But
also,
I'll be back in a minute.
I'm fine unless I move too much. The moment I start moving around, I just going downstairs and coming back up, and I am wasted. So a 2.5 hour drive in the car was going to be quite tricky. So I'm just press the button. So
you take that with you. I'll be back in a moment, babe.
So I'm just leaning across for the mouse mat,
I'll be back in a minute.
which incidentally is a West Hill Wagon Works product. I don't know if they still sell these.
It's actually a very good mouse mat.
Yeah, we still use it. So just so if anybody from West Hill Wagon Works is watching, a big thank you for that. You gave me this like a couple of years ago, it's a great mouse mat. It's got just the right feel to it, very durable, and so yeah, much appreciated. Brian Bell says the whole market is very quiet at the moment. See a number of limited editions on offer at special prices. Yeah, I know that the Planet Industrials triple pack of the MDOs was, I think at one point, somebody said that it was for sale at something like £27 for a triple pack. I couldn't find it at that, and I don't know whether that was a misprint. But I know that Planet Industrials have struggled a little bit to sell that limited edition. Now, just to make clear, the main range MDO and MDV wagons from Acura scale sold out incredibly quickly. Even the Monday Club wagon, which is from the same batch as those Planet Industrials, that sold out on pre-order. So that was a very buoyant batch. I think it all boiled down to livery choices. The orange and black internal users, whilst eye-catching, in all honesty, I think they might have been better if they could have done a factory-weathered version of those. It's one of those things that I think, like the EFE Rail Hunslot Austerity in that yellow and blue, it's a real livery, but it looks odd. Odd when clean. So I think that it's just not. It's just an unfortunate livery choice, and that's why they're being sold at a special deal. I'm not sure of any other. Oh yeah, Brian Bell. Even Bachman Collectors Club items being sold via a number of dealers, and I think, to be honest, there's a price issue, and I think they made too many with the Collectors Club items, and because a lot of them are now being sold through dealers, presumably because they've been sat cluttering up the shelves at Bachman for a while. It does make people think, well, I'll just wait until they turn up at dealers, and they've got to be careful, because it does start to devalue one of the major benefits of being a member of the Collectors Club. And actually, when they turned their members' VIP area into the Kinesis Theatre, I think that was not a good move, insofar as that was one of the other prime reasons. For me, it was it was reason prime for being a Batman Collectors Club menu, was having access to that VIP area for a busy, crowded show. It just gives you some breakout space and the free bottles of water. So, take that away. Take away the exclusive special limited editions. They've got to be careful they don't make it not worth being a member. We've talked about the price issue before. Donget's Model Railway. Back when I have a price issue on everything, a lot of things aren't selling until they are 30% off. Yeah, we've seen this with the 37s, and the market did get quite flooded with 37s. And what's interesting is that the Acura Scale 37s have had no trouble selling at all. So, to generalise and say, there's all these Bachmann 37s not selling, therefore the market is flooded. Actually, no. You're not seeing any cut price deals on Acura Scale 37s. In fact, what you're seeing is them all sold out. Essentially, the price differential is important. And, this is something that comes up time and time again. People go like, oh, yes, I like high fidelity, I like this and I like that. Well, the Railroad Plus models do sell out quite quickly. And, when you're looking at something that's like less than, like somewhere around 40% the RRP of the main range version, money talks. It's like, well, I could have 2 of these plus custom weathering on them both, or I could have one of the main range ones. Then, actually, there's no contest. And there's, I think this is something, as much as it's true that it's going to be a really great model, Clark Railworks or Ellis Clark Trains have not produced a bad model at all. And certainly they've won the Jenny Kirk Choice Award for O-Gauge 2 years running. And I've got every faith that they will give the other O-Gauge manufacturers a stiff run for their money for this year's Jenny Kirk Choice Award for O-Gauge. And their War Department 210 is going to be an amazing model. But that will be at quite a price increase over and above the KR Models one. And, whilst it's like, it's cool to give KR Models a kicking.
Why is it cool, though? So many people seem to have done that for no good reason.
Complicated reasons, and actually a lot of them are nothing to do with KR Models, because KR Models started right at the point where DJ Models went under, taking a lot of people's money with them, and a lot of people got badly burnt by that. They'd put a lot of money up front and lost it all because this guy hadn't delivered. And then KR Models turned up and quite naively sounded a lot like DJ Models and like, oh, well, we're going to do this, it's going to be great, bear with us. And people were looking for somebody to blame. But
that's not excusable.
DJ Models, gone. He's somewhere in the plane spotting for it these days, I believe. So KR Models became the butt monkey. And then also Keith can have a bit of an abrasive attitude to customer relationships, which he doesn't help himself. He doesn't mean to.
A lot of us can.
Yeah.
My response when
he lets it show through a little bit from time to time. Yeah. And it's not. He's not a nasty person. He's just.
He's got my kind of response.
It's a cupboard monkey.
Yeah.
If you ever meet the cupboard monkey on a bad day, you'd be like,
yes.
It's not that she hates you and wants to gently unscrew your head and do unspeakable things before screwing it back on. It's just, some people are like that. Russell Benton, the Fell is a model that
is it? My goodness.
Yeah. I think the problem is that the Fell had some issues, and it caught KR Models, I guess, off guard. But by the same token, bear in mind how many thousands of these things get made. There's a lot of Fells went out there and people were quite happy with them. And what I've noticed is that people who were really happy with their model tend to be quite quiet about that. They just happily get on and enjoy it. The ones that have a problem are the ones that you tend to hear from. And it does...
What's this about?
What is it? Pedantic mongrels railway channels as KR models putting Great Central Express passenger livery on Big Bertha was disgusting. Well, yeah, well, there we have an example of the fun police. Yeah, it's like, oh, this never happened in real life, therefore nobody should be allowed to do this in model form because you're not doing it prototypically accurately.
You've got
like,
to, yeah. It's
move
not,
on by. Maybe this hobby's not for you.
It's not disgusting. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean someone else doesn't like it.
Zan-
we all have to realise that people like different things.
Yeah, and Zantec says, I'm not happy, my 108 has ingested some gravel. Ooh. And sounds like it's split a gear. If I can hear, all I can hear is chonk, 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 chonk in the drive bogey. And I can't work out how to strip the thing down. It's probably something from the ballast, and it's probably not all that much. But they tend to get like stuck in the lube and make some weird noises. The only thing I can suggest is flood it through with something like electrical contact cleaner, and just try and literally wash it out. It will also wash all the other grease and stuff out.
Yeah.
And then you just make sure you re-lube it. I use gun oil, which
You use gun oil because you're an edgelord.
Armament lubricant. It is gun oil. But obviously was sold for modelling purposes. It just happened to be very good oil, apparently. Sarah Davis says, I absolutely love the BR Blue GT3, even though it's not a GT. It was never made in that livery. Oh.
Yeah, it's a rainbow container again, train skits. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Michael White says, don't mention the Cura Scale Class 37. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. Trains, Kits, etc. says, rainbow container, anyone? Oh, yes, even though that was a real thing. That...
We got so much.
Where did
that guy actually tried to start a fight with me, you know.
Over what? Where did I put it?
Because he said, why do you always keep stepping in when I'm trying to talk to Jenny? It's like, you don't know who I am, do you?
Yeah.
I'm the one that gets in the way so that Jen doesn't have to deal with people who want to start a fight. As producer on her shows, I am basically Jenny's bouncer.
Yes, I have people to do the arguing for me.
Exactly, he just didn't understand what was going on. He tried to actually say, consider this your warning. Like, no, dude, that doesn't work.
Christopher says plenty. Yeah, Christopher says plenty of fictional layouts at shows. To be honest, many layouts are they're fictional. Yeah, Weird Yard is fictional. Meneth Tatus is fictional. But yeah, look, I know you're probably saying that tongue in cheek, but yeah, it's
okay to like things, and it's okay for other people to not.
Yeah,
like things.
And it's things like the leader will be coming out in BR Blue and stuff, and that's the thing that I know. Talking with Mike, it tickles him. He says we get people going, "Oh, how dare you do this in fictional liveries?" And it's like some of them are actually better selling than the main range version. Yeah. So I know that the Rail Blue GT3 sold out like that.
Why my head's itchy.
And I don't know I don't know how they're doing with the.
Where did the rainbow one go?
I don't know. It's
Did you put it in a drawer?
Probably. Anyway, sit yourself down. I don't like it when you loom.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Dongit's Model Railway says even the ones that purport to be a real place aren't in true scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that 1/76th scale. So when you think about it, how long is a typical station? With all the like the goods, even a branch line station the reality is to model the entire thing in scale, in 00, would be huge. You're talking about like the length of making tracks just for a typical country station.
Ben Davis, there is no Game Hammer today. I won't be playing anything today. Because, unfortunately, I'm well enough to sit here and help Jen with a show. I'm not well enough to then go on and do another show.
I'm mindful just standing up and looking up there has made me feel a bit queasy.
Yeah.
And this is part of the problem. It's like, we've got through the worst of it, with all, we've all pretty much had jabs and stuff. So it's COVID's not the danger it once was, but it's still really nasty when you get it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't wish this on anyone. So I'm confined to the house because I won't even go to the shop at the moment because, to be honest, it would just be really mean to go and just give it to people. Even our neighbours, and I've met our neighbours, but I draw a line at giving them this.
To be fair, our neighbours are all right.
And our immediate neighbours. If you're watching, great.
Our immediate neighbours are fine.
Yeah, our immediate
fine, nice people.
When you consider it's a rented house next door, actually, we've lucked out with actually some great neighbours.
I still say that a lot of manufacturers are missing a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we saw those 3D printed trucks and things like that?
Yeah. Mm.
And they had that strange translucent green.
Mm-hmm.
I still say a train in that sort of style to make a ghost train would be amazing. I would love to see that. No one does a ghost train. I would love to see one.
Yeah. Just give the turntable a quick whiz round.
Okay, you turn your table.
Yeah.
So, we don't have many videos for tonight.
Oh yeah, we're going to show some videos.
So you rest your voice for a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm starting to struggle a bit now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's really, really flared me up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is Gandalf putting in an appearance for any late...
Gandalf went out with the clowns and Topsy.
Yeah.
Gandalf's the one that made the fake Topsy. To make you feel like you were still here.
Oh, okay. He did leave us a message.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Okay, well
Thank you,
said,
Gandalf.
So he has provided us with that just for anybody who thought that they'd crept in late.
So, Richard Swiderski, first up, has a message for us. Hi, Jenny and Zoe. Hope you're well. A short video to show the Monday Club a rare sight.
Oh?
Yes. 37425 and 37422 with snow ploughs at Hertford Station in Cheshire on the 20th of January.
Ooh.
So, this should be interesting.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to plough.
Yeah. But was there any snow to plough? I've never seen...
Mr. Plough, that's my name, that name again
there's
is Mr. Plough.
I suppose they have to be out and positioned so that they'll move to where the snow is predicted. So I guess they actually spend a lot of their time in Scotland, but I've never seen them actually ploughing snow.
What an interesting looking front.
Oh,
beep,
he
beep.
got bold.
Beep,
Oh.
beep.
Oh, alright, come back. He slowed down for you.
Look at that. That is so cool. That is lovely. And there's a one in the back as well.
Yeah, it's okay. They can go in both directions. Oh, you thought you got bold there, and you didn't. He slowed down for you. He sort of. I'll tell you now. That's a driver who took pity on all of you people, and saw that train coming the other way. See, look, because you just see the plume of diesel smoke. He's putting the beans down now, but he slowed down so that other train would clear the station, and then he crept through. So that's a nice, kind, caring, considerate driver.
Yeah,
then.
that is cool. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Ah, right. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, I think the ploughs went to Crewe to clear the Aberystwyth line if needed.
Yes.
They are heading to Carlisle there. So cool.
Nigel Cole says, my goodness, that looks almost real. Yes.
It's funny, that.
It is an interesting looking thing, though. It's like a chunky monkey. Height code was a 7, so I think max speed would be 45 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Yeah, 37.45. I do love that regional railways livery.
Look at that. It's such an interesting shape.
Well, the idea is, you see that it sort of digs in and lifts the snow off the track, and then when it hits the top wedge, it throws it out to the sides.
Yeah, they've really gone all in to sort out the right look. It's really cool. I love it.
Well, it's snow, of course it's cool. I think that V1 stroke V3, did we ever decide how to tell them apart? It's running quite well, but I've got a little gift for that prairie tank. One of these, like gold dust, like I said before, R7377. Talking with Hornby, they said there is another batch of these on the high seas, so don't be lured into gougers going, oh yes, I'll sell you one for £1,000. So there are some coming, but if you can't wait, then Tim at Arcadia did have at least one left after I bought 3.
And I overheard you on the phone, like, what have you got on your second-hand
Yeah, I
table
did,
today?
and he told me he said there was a lot of continental stuff, but because you guys keep going in there and picking it clean, he said, oh, it never hangs around, which is true. It's priced to sell, but he did say that he had a Hornby M7 in BR Black, one of the newer DCC ready ones, in the box, £55. That is a great price. Russell Benton says V1, V3 difference is boiler pressure. I think they look identical. Oh. Well, there we are. Dongit's Model Railway says £1,000. How about 1,000 hounds instead?
Who let the dogs out?
Stop! I don't want that earworm.
Okay, so
What? Ham shackles?
Oh yes, I saw that on the Monday Club page. Someone shared a screenshot. A DCC starter kit. Basically just like a Hornby set, but it might not have been Hornby. And they were asking $1,300 for it.
So basically, it was a stupidity tax.
Chancer.
No. Gouger, go in deep and hard. Gouging. Hoo-hoo. Don't stop until you feel the bone.
Okay. And on that point, we've got...
When you've been ill, you can really get quite a deep voice going on, can't you?
We have all the time.
Stop it. Stop it. So
I can't get as deep as I used to.
Wait. Yeah.
So next up we have
Easy Tiger.
A message from Simon Trains, who says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Hope you give Topsy Toaster and the Clown a good toasting for absconding. But the video I've sent is from the Siston Model Railway Show.
Oh, there's a couple of... I think there's a couple of clowns still in, because they're tumble of clowns passing through. Weird. So is it an... Oh!
This is Siston Model Railway Show 2024 from Simon Trains.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
So, lovely.
Model Railway Showcase. Here we go. So we're going to have a look at a Model Railway Show.
Oh, this is nice. Dunsford Road. Oh, Network Southeast.
That is a really nicely done...
Is that a class 208 or a 207? It's a thumper, I think. Oh, the old burnt out signal box.
This looks fantastic.
That's a bubble car, class 1... I can never remember whether the 121 or the 122 as the head code box. But is that the thumper again? 207 to... Ooh.
This is lovely. It's got a nice bit of style to it.
Yeah, Imp 344, absolutely. My best advice to railway modeler is to be open-minded and creative. Never always stick to what's common. There's also the rare and maybes. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's fun, and it's your railway, your rules.
Yes.
So,
Silverton. This is Engage. Oh, nice. I like a bit of Engage.
Engage.
Very engaging.
Nice canopy. That I think that's from the Metcalf range.
I have so much trouble making Metcalf canopies. Anything that is freestanding is just like, no, it doesn't work.
And the Metcalf walls. Can I just say, Metcalf walls, brilliant.
Excuse me. Oh yeah, Metcalf does some fantastic kits. I'm just not very good at assembling them.
Yeah. Oh. Beep beep. There you are. Said it before you could.
Yeah, I like this. It's nice.
Pim1234 says hi from the Netherlands.
Hello there.
Great to see you, and I hope you are well.
Oh, I love a bit of Engage. Let's jump on ahead though, because it's
Class
208
208 says Harry Cedric. So I was kind of right. Although going to the dogs suggests 205. Simon Train's Mother Railway Showcase says 205. So,
This is... Oh, look at the rowing ducks!
Oh,
I love it! I love it!
quack, 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 quack.
Oh
Ooh.
my goodness.
Oh, that's a really great... Oh, this is nice. 009. I like the
Oh my
rock.
god, this is so good.
Oh!
The dragon is so cool.
Unleash the dragon.
See, this is the type of thing you get when you don't have people saying, oh, you can't do that.
This is fun. This is
Yeah.
creative and
That
fun.
was wonderful.
Absolutely.
I'm loving the amount of Engage that's in this.
Engage. No, that's lovely. Really neat ballast
Oh,
as
that
well.
looks lovely.
Mm.
Flying Chairman one says they got all their ducks in a row there.
See what you did there. Definitely a Class 205, so going to the dogs. David Watts says, I want a HST and TT120 in LMS Maroon, please. I guess that the HST should come at some point in TT120. It's one of the flagship models in 00. So, so I can only guess it should be on the card sooner rather than later. I think, is it April for the TT120 announcements?
Don't know. This is really cool. I love a bit of Engage.
Yeah. Another Engage. Train spotting. What if?
Look at that.
Ooh.
That is interesting.
What is it?
Some kind of lamp.
Oh. Nigel Cole says, that's so not
I
realistic.
know, a dragon wouldn't
Only
hang on
kidding,
to
it's great.
a dragon wouldn't hang on to the side of a broken down castle like that.
There's not enough rivets in that dragon.
These are really cool. I love all the bits that are in the trucks and stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah. You've seen the little allotment at the back as
Yeah.
well. This is nice.
Needs more granddads in it though.
John Nutman says, I want a 37, but I don't know what make. I'll be honest with you. If you can get them at the right price, the Bachmann ones are pretty good.
Ooh.
But it's simply down.
The LED is its refresh rate is not quite the same as the refresh rate on the camera.
Yes, if you suffer from epilepsy, you might have wanted to have looked away a few, like 30 seconds
Yeah,
ago.
I'm going to jump on a little bit for that.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa!
Whoa. Unfortunately, that layout appears to be disagreeing with the frame rate of the camera.
There we go.
Oh, I do like that lattice bridge. That's a really nice lattice work on there.
It's interesting back scene as well. It's hand painted. Gronk, gronky, gronk, gronk, gronk.
Flymo Chairman one says Model Rail Crew, brand new Model Railway Exhibition, 23rd of June 2024.
Beep, beep. So I believe this is O gauge. It's using
Oh yeah.
it's using chains to couple the gronk to a thing.
Yeah, it's a dipole gronk. I do like the sort
Very
of
nice.
the faded rail blue.
Yeah.
That actually looks really good. And it's one of the things that you found was that rail blue did quite often fade, especially on locomotives that didn't get repainted often.
Yeah.
And actually that has the look of a gronk that's been sold out of service. And would just basically be a private owner shunter, but still wearing its BR livery. And you saw that from time to time.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed that.
That was great. Thank you so much.
And yeah, I think TT120, PIM1234, I think your best bet really is the Gronk. And bear in mind that the Dutch State Railways had pretty much the same style of shunters. They're made, I think they're made by English Electric, weren't they? So it is an option. I don't know whether you, because TT120, it's exactly the same scale as the TT sold in Europe, I think. So it does mean that the locomotives are interchangeable, and the Gronk you could conceivably repaint in is it Nederspur wagon livery.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Harry Sedgwick said that was BR light blue weathered. Values 56XX does point out hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
Absolutely.
So, next one up, James Spinks. Hi ladies, a video of my Christmas present from my mum and dad. So, this is a locomotive that they've got.
So, let's have a look. New Hornby loco got for Christmas. Let's have a
Okay.
look. Did I press play? I did.
Yeah, six
wheels,
wheel
ooh.
Sentinel. There we go.
Oh,
It's a
that's nice.
livery actually. The green livery.
it looks lovely.
And the Hornby Sentinel is a lovely model, and again, it's one of those that, you know, even a few years ago, people might not have expected that we'd ever see a ready-to-run version of these Sentinels. And we've had the 4-wheel chain drive, the 4-wheel rod drive, and the 6-wheel rod drive. I think the only version that we haven't had is the 8-wheel one, but they were quite a rarity.
I didn't know there was an 8-wheel one. That is
Trains, kits, etc. says Gronk Colt for tax purposes could be
what
smart.
kind of rolling road is that?
I think that's the Hornby one.
Right, it's interesting.
Jennifer Horton says TT120 was the Eastern European 00.
Thank you so much, there,
Thank
James.
you so much for that. Stanton Ironworks, says Jennifer Horton. Thank you so much. It's a lovely, lovely livery. Pim1234 says, I'm an Anglophile. Don't want to do anything with Dutch or German trains. Fair enough.
Well,
Um,
it's like we always say, you do what you like on your layout. It's your
Yeah.
layout, it's your rules.
and actually, Ham Shackleton makes an interesting point, going back to that O-gauge Gronk. So I like the way that the Gronk, the pale Gronk, had all the panels in different shades, like a collection of spare parts that had been assembled into one Gronk.
Yes.
It's not, yeah, it's like Franken Gronk. And yes, Valley's 56XX. The Sentinel is a good-looking model.
It really is, it's nice. Right, let's have a look at what we've got next up from Richard Swiderski. Hope you're both feeling better. A video of a bubble car Flora passing Beeston Castle signal box.
I can feel the tablets I took starting to wear down.
Yeah.
Whew. And the beverage of choice is a Monster.
Monster!
Because it's full of caffeine and vitamins and stuff. But, yeah.
The Sentinel's running fast. It's had too many sweets and energy drinks. You can't have too many sweets and energy drinks.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to tickle that like button and share the stream as well. And if you haven't already done so, then do please subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. Oh, it's a class 121. I think.
Beep, beep.
An interesting livery. It's like Pullman livery. Oh,
It's out there on its own, like, haha, I've got away, beep beep. Nice.
oh, I feel dizzy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
How are we doing on
get
time?
you back to bed at 9.
What time is it? Are
It's
we
20 to 9.
really? Gosh,
That is really cool. I like that shape.
I'll be honest. I honestly didn't think we'd last the full 2 hours. Oh,
Peachy TT120 says, have we celebrated Iron Horse's 2K? He's got to 2,000 subscribers. Nice.
he has, yes.
Congratulations.
And he didn't have to buy any of them. It was great.
What do you like? But no, well done, well done.
Absolutely. Oh,
You're going to be okay. Okay. So this is interesting. Sound, because that's the thing with
so it ignores your settings.
yeah, that's the thing with YouTube Shorts. They're a separate thing with their own settings, and
But
it's
it-
very annoying.
And it doesn't bother remembering your settings.
Nope. Okay, so what we've got here is Leslie Gilpin saying, you might like this as a smokescreen video. Actually, it lasted much
Oh.
longer than a minute.
Donget's Model Railway says ouch. Hamshackle says ow.
Yeah, there's
So,
nothing I can do about that,
Billy's
unfortunately.
replacement speakers, we're really sorry about that. That's
Yeah.
a YouTube-related cock-up.
Yeah, because unfortunately, YouTube Shorts have their own settings.
So we might actually have to say we can't do YouTube Shorts in the future, because...
No, what I'll do is I'll go in early and turn the sound off on them. So what we've got here is the smoke. Look at
That's a cold start on a cold day. Do they not have glow plugs?
I don't know what a glow plug is. Is
Help-
it like the glow worms that were in the 80s, the little glow-in-the-dark toys for girls?
No, it's like a little plug that fits into diesel cylinders, and you send an electric current through it, and it literally glows red hot.
I'm joking, Jim.
So that when you try and start a diesel engine, it just from cold gives it that little bit of something extra.
Don't show this footage to Greta, says Ben.
Oh, she'd love it.
Oh, absolutely.
She'd be there going,
Finally, something else to complain about.
yes, complaining
But, yeah.
makes me happy.
That's quite a smokescreen.
That is rather. See, if that came out of my car, I'd be like, I think my car's broken.
Yes, but that's not a car, that's a choo-choo.
I know, but even so, you look at that and you think, did they do that when they were new?
Probably.
I don't know. Anybody else? Did 37s do that when they were brand new, or is that just what happens when they're getting on a bit?
Thank you so much for sending that in, Leslie. That was great. And that's all of our videos for tonight.
Oh my gosh, we're up to date.
Yes, my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Ham Shackleton as well, yeah. So I saw this on Les's tube vid. I like the way the driver gets out to photograph his own pollution. That's like peeing your name into the snow and then getting a quick snap for Instagram.
Bit off topic. What type of Volvo do you have, Jen? Says John.
I have a Volvo 850S Saloon.
Sorry, Johan, I think his name is.
Johan.
Yes, you've got to one that took part in the world record, haven't you?
Yeah. Flymo Chairman one says needs new injectors.
That's fine.
Yeah, actually, I mean,
Look, perfectly fine to me.
it is an interesting point. I mean, from speaking from the mechanical engineer's point of view, that I once learned little bits about. See, yeah, it could be injectors with a spray pattern. Could be faulty spray pattern might cause that. I see Leyland engines used to be notorious for that. I remember Leyland road trains cold starting. You'd crank them and it'd be like, and there'd be a plume of smoke until it caught. And I'm never quite certain what caused it. It could be compression issues, so it might have a lot of blow-by, so you're not getting high compression until it gets up to temperature. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just not that's something I've read, but it's a memory.
Yeah. Peter Jackson Chiddleheath says worn cylinders, perhaps. Yeah. High blow-by, I think, which would cause low compression. Ben Tullett says we had to start the Ruston Hornsby shunter at Bewdley Yard on Saturday. R1 is an air start version, so no easy turn a key and go. A bit more of a challenge.
I'm just remembering this silly thing that happened when we're talking about not eating yellow snow. When I was a kid, my sister, my best friend, and I went down to some fields near the local park, and rolled all of the snow on that field into a giant ball, and then tried our best. It took about 20 minutes to get it over the stile so that we could get the giant snowball out of the field.
Right.
And then rolled it down the road, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It ended up being bigger than I was, like taller than I was. And we all just decided, bugger it, we can't be bothered pushing it any further.
What, you left it in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road.
What happened to it?
Someone came along and kicked it to pieces later on when they got frustrated that they couldn't get past.
Oh,
I just remember this.
Ham Shackleton, yeah, where I used to work years ago, they had Guy Big J trucks. They smoked a bit. See, my memory was Leylands were notorious for it. Jennifer Horton says Colas 37s and Network Rail 97.3s, which are basically 37s, have preheaters to reduce the smoke on cold starts. Yeah, yeah, I'd suggest that's poor compression for whatever reason.
Look fine to me.
But
No problems whatsoever.
when they're hot, they tighten up. So you may find that they can't get good compression when stone cold, because if they did, they'd seize up when they got hot.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really struggling now.
Shall we?
So yeah, we were supposed to today be at the West Hill Wagon Works new shop opening. So it'd been arranged for over a month. It opens for the first time to the public tomorrow, and I have the full West Hill Wagon Works range. They also stock DCC concepts and also this range of ATD models.
Yeah. Which look really nice.
Yeah. So got a really great range, and it means that you can now visit West Hill Wagon Works and browse the full range, just as you would expect to do at a show, but you can do it in a bricks and mortar environment. It also features fully functional running layouts,
which look fantastic.
They do, definitely. They say you can actually bring your own locomotives and rolling stock and have a play with them on the layout. And the plan is to make them fully scenic using the full range of West Hill Wagon Works products, so that you can see them painted up and in a proper model environment.
It looks fantastic, and I'm really disappointed that we don't get to go and see it yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the idea of driving for 2.5 hours. We just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and anyway, all I would do is I'd give all the guys at the shop COVID, and really I couldn't live with myself doing that.
No, you're absolutely right to have not done it. But before we go any further, Jen, do we have a sponsor?
We do, actually, yes.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
Well, it's just got time for me to thank all of you guys for coming. Please, please, please hit that like button and share the video to social media. And if you haven't already done so, do please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go on. But it's always an honour to have your company on a Monday. We are here every Monday. Come rain or shine, I have to be seriously ill to let you guys down. And I feel so gutted that I've ended up letting down West Hill Wagon Works. So do check them out. The link to the address has gone in the chat a few times. West Hill Wagon Works, 3B New Line Road, Kirby and Ashfield, Nottingham, NG17 8JQ. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2048 service to Bed, stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Grove Street Yard, Meath Tattis, Tattis Newith, Eindhoven, Pittsburgh somehow, that unnamed layout that Jen said had a name but turned out it didn't, and then on to Bed. That's the 2048 service to Bed. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. 'Cause every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night. Oh my goodness. Weren't there more coaches then? Double and more coaches, where'd they go?
They're on Monmouth Tatters.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I've just had a thought. If you get a double O gauge locomotive and have a wagon behind it, and have the same locomotive in N gauge, you could have it running around on top of the wagon, and it's take your kid to work day. I may have just made that up for a joke, but I kind of like the idea.
I think technically we can do that because we have a Gronk in N, which I've also got in double O.
Yeah. Take your kid to work day. Let's do that.
Anyway, look, you guys take great care of yourself. We're going to have to cut and run. I just feel so ill, but it's been an absolute honour to hang out with you tonight, and hopefully by next week we'll be back up to speed. But look, until next time,
100% bottom kicking action. Take care, good night.
take care. Oh.